My name is Cindy Holmes, and I am your host this evening, as well as the speaker. I'm the director for the School of Intuition and Healing, and I welcome you all here this evening. Tonight, we're going to talk about a topic which is very, very close to my heart, one I've used for many years to manage my energy, keep myself from getting into a mess. And I'd like to thank Sue Allen, who was the founder of the School of Intuition and Healing. A lot of the material that I'm sharing with you tonight is either in her book called Spirit Release, the Practical Handbook, and also it's taken from some of the material that we teach to our healing students at the school. So before we start getting into the nitty-gritties of cord cutting and how we're going to set your energy free tonight, what I'd like us all to do is to do an opening meditation to ground ourselves and center ourselves. At the end of our opening meditation, we're also going to be doing a visualization with energy between your hands. So what I would invite you to do is open your eyes after the opening meditation and then just work with some of the words. A lot of you who I see and welcome, it's nice to see so many familiar faces, will have done this exercise, but it's always good just to remember that everything is made up of energy and our energy is very easily influenced. So find yourself a comfortable position, putting your feet on the ground, uncrossing your legs and arms, sitting with your hands in your lap or on your knees. And let us just follow the breath, and I invite you to close your eyes. So feel yourself relaxing as you follow your breath in and out. Breathing in and out. And as you do, just feel yourself getting heavier and heavier on your chair. I invite you to close your eyes and just feel your feet sinking down into Mother Earth. Feel those feet as they connect with that beautiful earth energy. That beautiful earth energy, and you just feel that beautiful, beautiful roots going down into the earth. And as they go down, feel them going down, 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 deep, deep down into the earth, connecting with all the energy of the earth right to the very center of the earth. And as we connect to the very center of the earth, we feel that beautiful earth energy coming up, 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 up through all the layers of the earth, up into the soles of our feet. And we allow that beautiful earth energy to come up into our knees, up our thighs, and into our base. And from our base, we drop a third root, another beautiful, thick third root, deep down into Mother Earth, down, 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 down to that really solid, strong vibration, that infinite love of Mother Earth. And we connect to that and we bring that energy up, up, up into the base. And we just affirm, I am grounded. And we just feel ourselves connected to the earth and in our bodies. I then invite you to feel this earth energy going up and down our spine, just pulling us straight and allowing our energy and our chakras to flow. And we just bring that beautiful earth energy up into our hearts. And then we center in our hearts, and from our hearts, we go up to the highest point of light, to the source of all creation, and just lift your energy up, 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 up through the roof, up through the night sky, up to the highest point of light, and connect to that beautiful energy. connect to that energy higher than ourselves. And just bring that beautiful energy down, 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 down into the center of your heart. The center of your heart is in the center of your chest. And I'd like you to feel that expanding. Feel that energy expanding, expanding, expanding. Feel your whole energy body just expanding in this beautiful light, this beautiful energy of Mother Earth. And just feel that vibration throughout your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body, and just feel that energy. Center in your heart and feel yourself being held between heaven and earth. I'd like you now to take your attention back into your heart, and we're going to go up to that highest point of energy once again. So we're going up, 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 up as high as we can. We're connecting to that higher vibration, and I invite you to bring that higher vibration of energy down, 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 down through your crown, down through your third eye, through your throat, and into your heart. And I'd love you and invite you to let that energy now from your heart run down your arms and through into your hands. If you would like to, I would like you to open your eyes, and I'd like you to feel the energy between your hands as if you were holding some form of magnetic ball. So just allow that energy as it comes in and out. I'd like you to feel it expand and contract. There might be tingling in your fingers. You might be feeling a warm sensation. You might be feeling a cool sensation. But just allow yourself to play with the universal energy. Just feel that as you allow it to come in and out and in and out. Now I'd like to see what happens to this ball of energy when I say certain words. If I mention the word love, what happens to the hands? If I mention the word COVID-19, what happens to the energy in your hands? What happens if I mention the word ice cream? Jealousy, joy, beauty, nature, manipulative, hate, depression, walking in the beach, patting and loving your pet. What happens to that energy between your hands as I mention these words? I'd like you now just to allow that energy to dissipate from your hands and just to put your hands back in your lap and feel that grounding once more and bring yourself back into the core. I trust you could all feel the energy. The reason why I like to do that exercise in this masterclass is because what is important is that we understand that energy follows thought. So if we hear a word like war or hate or COVID-19, we feel that contraction. And when we use loving words, we can feel the expansion. And I hope each and every one of you experienced that. Because when we talk about cords and what are cords, there are an energetic link between ourselves to another person, to possibly a house or a car or an object. It could be to deceased people. We could attach our energy or link our energy to a goal and be absolutely focused on that, a thought form or a fragment of yourself. So that is what a cord is. It's like this focus and link of energy to something, from your energy to theirs, or from somebody else's energy to yours. Sometimes we have cords that are long-term. We could have a very short interaction with somebody, and it could be a short-term cord. The other thing about cords is they link to our energy field. Obviously, they link to our chakras and to our auras, because that is energy as well. So that plays a huge part in cording to other people, both positively and negatively. And people can also cord to other people's organs or limbs. So there's quite a lot that goes on with cording. Both in cords, we have positive cords and we have negative cords. Now, tonight, we're not going to talk about positive cords. There's quite a lot around how we can enhance them or whatever. But tonight, we're going to focus on the cords that are holding us back, the cords that are blocking our energy, because it's a huge part of us feeling like we are in power of our own energy and that we're not giving our energy away through negative cords towards us. Because the issue is with negative cords, they can drain our energy, they can cause illness, and also a negative cord can cause negative behavior. So let's have a look at negative cords. Oh my goodness. I've had some, I'm going to share some of my stories with you because I've had quite a journey with cords over the years and since I became aware of them. Let's talk about an intentional cord. And I'm not going to go too much into psychic attack with this because that's another whole masterclass and another whole workshop. But I'm going to talk a little bit about an experience that I had to show you how negative and intentional cords can harm us physically. I was working for a group of directors who were connected to a third party of spiritual workers who worked in the negative. So they would do things to harm people, and it was a third party paid. So what happened was I was the operations director in this business, and what was happening is there were certain people in this business siphoning money and taking it for themselves, and other shareholders weren't getting it. So some of the shareholders were taking the money and things were not even. And I said in board meetings, I told the truth, and they asked me please not to tell the truth. And I brought this money siphoning into the light. And the one director who could see this was really, really upset with me. And I knew that he was very upset to me. Anyway, it was really odd. I became asthmatic. I had all the symptoms of asthma. And I went to the asthma clinic and I wasn't responding to asthmatic treatment. And although I couldn't breathe and my symptoms were there, I didn't actually have asthma. And the doctors were really puzzled by this. And at the time, I was really stressed in the job that I was working in. It was high pressure. It was a restaurant group, so it was long hours. And I really had disconnected from my spiritual practices at the time. And I don't know why it didn't occur to me to call Sue Ellen. And those of you who know me, Sue Ellen, who was the founder of the school, is a good friend of mine. And, you know, you'd think having that kind of friend, you would phone a friend when you weren't feeling well. Anyway, after some time, I called Sue and I said, Sue, can you tune into my body, please? Because I'm not breathing. I've got asthmatic symptoms. And I think maybe something's going on. Anyway, Sue tuned in and she phoned me half an hour later and she said, Cindy, I found a cord of barbed wire wrapped energetically around your chest. I've cut it, I've removed it. She explained to me who was behind it, and it was some Sangomas that had been working in the negative in Lesotho. And she explained to me exactly what they looked like. And she said, I've cut the cords, I've put protection around you. And it was really interesting. The next day, I could breathe perfectly. My symptoms were gone. It was like day and night after that half an hour. I mean, I went back to the doctor and I said to the doctor, you're not going to believe this. And I explained to her what happened. And she was quite an open doctor, and she did. But what was really interesting was in the board meeting, the person who I had shone the light on about the money situation looked at me across the boardroom table and he said, you are a stronger woman than I thought you would ever be. And I looked him back in the eye and I said, yes, I am. And please don't do that again. So that is an intentional cord. It was paid, it was third party. And with that intention, I could have become very sick. So that's the extreme case. I thought I'd give you a good dramatic story to start with. Hopefully we're not going to be dealing with any of these ones tonight. So I then come on to the unintentional cords, and these are ones we have to be so careful about our thoughts, the language that we use, and how we behave. So another story, and this was about how I actually corded to somebody. We had somebody coming to do a business deal with us. People who don't know the school, it was a practitioner, and we set up a whole program and a course, and we worked out a whole lot of how it was going to work and when it was going to be and how much we were going to charge. And we spent hours on the format and exactly how things were going to work, etc. And having done all this work, we then came to the financial split of how I thought the financial model should look and how they thought the financial, and we were miles off. We were completely miles off, and I was so frustrated. So we couldn't find a way to move forward. And I was really, really upset by this. I couldn't understand it. And in my mind, I kept on saying, I don't understand this. How could the person do this to me? We did all the work. And I continued in my mind going, you know what? That person doesn't want to understand my point of view. How can I? And I was really over and over. And you know, in your mind, when something, I don't know what everyone else's mind, but when I get set on something, my mental body goes like that. And I ended up getting an email from this person saying, you're psychically attacking me. And I was like, really? Oh my goodness. So I thought, let me tune in. So I went into a meditation and I checked, and there it was. From my solar plexus to their solar plexus and their sacral work, all my negative thoughts, all my negative energy was going right at them. And now I understood, because they, in their email, they stated that they'd been feeling ill and how could I do this to them? And I had to own that, because energy follows thought. So when you are thinking bad things about somebody, those thoughts create negative energy, which then cords to the other person. So not only must you be mindful about what other people are doing with their energy, how are you causing cords to go to others? And I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about when I talk about this obsessive thinking and how that follows on. Other cords that we might get, it's cords at the back. I don't know if you've ever felt, I've got a family member who I don't get on with, and I know their energy. I get a pain in my lower back. And the minute I know that something's going on with that person, straight away, okay, they're coming at me with a cord down at the back of either my solar plexus or my sacral, and sometimes even my base. And I know who they are, and I just put up extra protection. The other cords that might form, and these are ones that happen often, are when people drain your energy. Now, we talk a lot in energy management about that, but there are people that cord to us, not to our heart chakra. You might have a really open heart and be kind to people. You might go and see somebody and feeling really jolly and happy, and your energy is high. And you go and have a coffee with them, and within half an hour, they've told you all their woes. They've sucked in your positive energy. They haven't asked you, how are you doing? What's going on for you? And by the time the coffee's over or the hour with them is, your energy is down here and their energy's up. They've corded to your emotional body and they've sucked their positive energy out of you, dropping your energy. So I guess you're getting the picture here. The other thing about cord cutting, and when we do the protection exercise at the end, the solar plexus. For those who are not familiar, 100% familiar with the chakra system, the solar plexus is our place of personal power. It sits just underneath the sternum, and with that place of personal power, people often cord for control. This we often find in our relationships, both with family, friends, and particularly with partners who are close, and also with those people who want to control. Don't forget your work colleagues and bosses in all of this. So the solar plexus is often where we cord from. And if we are feeling maybe that we're questioning our own spiritual beliefs, somebody might have corded to your crown. Sometimes if you have a lack of a way to say something, possibly somebody has corded to your throat. If you feel a pull on your heart, it might be about somebody interfering with who you love and how you love. Solar plexus to solar plexus is definitely about self-esteem and control. The sacral with intimate relationships can often be around sexual needs and wants and causing, if there isn't a balance, cords can form then. And then your base might be corded to cause more fear for you, which is always difficult. So why do you think people cord to you? Why would we do it? And I think I've discussed that quite often in the examples I gave you. So we talked about people having a desire or a need. Relationships, which I've just mentioned. Somebody might want a relationship more than you do. Somebody might want to be pulling away from you and creating a cord to pull away. Cords are formed by obsessions, possessiveness, jealousy. We mentioned the psychic attack. Someone also might cord to you because they want to weaken you. They want your strengths. And then we also mentioned the transfer of energy. Also the symptoms. What are the symptoms of that? That pulling sensation. It could lead to illness. The other thing which you need to be careful of, with psychic attack? Are you thinking things that you don't normally think? Are you getting telepathic messages from a cord, often done to your third eye? Are you feeling intimidated in your dreams? Are people coming to you in your dreams by cording to you? Are you feeling negative and stuck? Do you have self-esteem? Do people want you to be dependent on them? People might want to prevent you from being individual or being flexible because they want to control you. Other people might make you feel uncentered or ungrounded. Think about these. He is part of me. He's hooked into me. He has his claws in her. She is obsessed with her. Can't live without him. I owe him. He owes me. She needs me. I need her. These are symptoms of possible cording. So if you're feeling these things, check into your energy. Scan it. So I want to talk about cord cutting because people fear cord cutting. And the reason they fear cord cutting is they think that once they cut the cord, then they're getting rid of that. It's not a dangerous thing. When we do cord cutting, we're doing it from a place of love. We're doing it from a place of unconditional love. So we're not doing this to get rid of. We don't have an agenda. Cords are created by agendas, but when we do this, we are doing this to take back our own energy, to own our own energy, and that we are not giving our energy away to somebody else. So it is not harmful. The other thing is that if you think about a relationship, often there are issues, whether it be a family or an intimate relationship, where there are things that might not be 100% in that relationship, where there is a negative cord. So you might have 10 really positive cords going on between yourselves, but there's one negative cord, whether it be a controlling thing or whatever else. So when you cut that cord with a loved one, it doesn't mean you're severing the relationship. I thought if you cut cords, when I didn't know about cords and I hadn't done all the work, I became very anxious about cutting cords because I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to lose this person. No, you're creating healthy, strong boundaries. You're getting rid of the negativeness in your relationship. So anyone who feels nervous to do this exercise that we're going to, I invite you just to do it with an open mind. When it gets to the point of cutting the cord, you might not be ready, and that's okay, but at least you've identified it and you can then work with that. So tonight, it's really, really about us connecting to a cord that we have, seeing who that person is, and then we are going to do it with unconditional love. So I invite you to enjoy this exercise with me and join in and play full out. So once again, I'm sorry for those people who are having sound issues. I'm going to move my microphone a little bit closer, and let's hope we can all do this exercise together. So we're going to just close our eyes once again and just feel those roots growing from the soles of your feet, deep down into the earth, letting go of any fear, and just connecting with Mother Earth. And then we center in our hearts, connecting to all that is, asking for protection, And I'd like you to scan your body downwards for just one negative chord. So just visualize your physical body and just scan down. You may feel a tension, pulling, or a discomfort. Get a sense of the cord. See who is on the other end. Who comes into your mind as you focus on this area? The first person who pops into your head. If nothing happens, visualize a person to whom you know you have an issue. Where are they corded to you? How do they seem? Put white light around them and notice their reaction. Reassure them that nothing bad is going to happen. The intent is for healing to take place. See and sense the cord. What is it like? How would you describe it in size? Shape? Density? Color? Texture? How long has it been there? Is it living, dead, or old? Where is it attached to the other person? Is the energy within it running from you to them or them to you? Or is the energy running both ways? Why is it there? What is it about? Why are they cording to you or you to them? What are you doing to encourage this cord? How are they encouraging this cord? What would you like to say to them? Listen to what they have to say to you. What is needed to resolve the issue? Forgiveness? Acceptance? Possibly an apology? find a way of cutting the cord between you. You might want to use a light, a laser, a pair of scissors, possibly invite Archangel Michael with a sword. You might want to use a knife or fire. Just think about how you can cut the cord between you and cut it. Focus on your end first. How would you like to remove or dissolve the cord? Apply that and make sure you remove all the cord, even the parts that are lodged inside of you. All the tentacles, hooks, plugs. Make sure that there is none left. Pour white light into the area you have removed the cord from to cleanse. Just feel that white light cleansing as you let go of any old patterns or agendas. Just release. Once it's cleared, I want you to fill it with a beautiful gold light to heal, seal, and protect the space. It's really important never to leave a void. Now what we would do is we are going to dissolve the cord from the other person. So ensure that there is no cord left in the other person and cleanse the area with white light. Heal, seal, and protect it with gold light. Make sure all the cord pieces are gone. You can do this by handing it over into the universe, or you can burn it, but you need to get rid of the ashes. But make sure that there is nothing there of the cord. Do not visualize burying it because you never know, it might grow again. So really make sure that you've transmuted any of this negative cord. How does the other person seem now? Put more light around them in a bubble and fill their bubble with whatever they need. Healing, peace, joy, confidence. Tell them they are okay. Allow them to turn away from you in their bubble of light. Send them away into the universe with healing, love, forgiveness, and acceptance. Watch them until you can see them anymore, setting yourself and them free. We are going to go directly into the protection visualization for yourself. So I would like you please to check your grounding. And I would like you to draw in your energy. For those of you who work with your chakras, can you please just draw in each of your chakras? Let us draw in the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, and then the solar plexus. This is our personal power energy center. So I'm going to ask everyone just to draw in that into a tight ball. And I'd like you to circle that with a double ball of protection. I'd like you to take a symbol of protection and place it at the front and at the back of your solar plexus for extra protection. This is the place where we cord the most. We are protecting it not in fear, but to be vigilant. Let us draw in the sacral. And then at the base, we leave our base slightly open, but we drop a root or an anchor to make sure we are grounded. Put yourself in the most beautiful velvet cloak from head to toe. Just feel that cloak protecting you, holding you, keeping you confident and strong, holding your energy. And then put yourself in a beautiful bubble of light. Just feel that bubble of light. I like to use a silver reflective ball. And then I fill my bubble with whatever color I feel I need right now. Often a beautiful healing color after a cord cutting. Check my grounding. I know that I am protected. And I know that I am grounded. And then I slowly bring myself and my energy back into the room. I feel my feet on the floor. Maybe I rub my hands together and I have a big stretch. So as you bring your attention back into the room, just reflect about how you're feeling. And well done for, going through that. Because sometimes I know that we get quite anxious about cutting cords, but it really can free up your energy, make you feel more secure in yourself, make you feel more in control of your energy. There are a couple of things after cord cutting I'd like you to just take note of. One is, once you've done that, especially if it's something that's been going round and round in your head, just get your head to pause from that. Really do not focus on that person, on the issues. Just let them go. Because if you focus on energy follows thought, so you're thinking, all you're going to do is record to them. Often when you have cut a cord with somebody, they might try and get hold of you. They might try to reestablish that cord. They might try, they might try to connect to you again. So it's very important that you're just quite cool about it. You're quite relaxed, and you handle any reconnection in a positive way that is boundaried, because you've got rid of the shadow of that relationship. So just be mindful of that, because there will be a change. I need to also just say, which I haven't said tonight, that it's not the person who's cording to you's responsibility for you are not the victim in being corded to. We are all responsible for our own energy. If we have a cord from somebody else, it means that we have caught the ball. So we are all responsible for our energy. However, there are things that we can do, such as cord cutting, to set our energy free. So moving on, Sue's book, Spirit Release, A Practical Handbook, we have copies. So if you would like a copy, it's not available at any retailers here in South Africa. I know in the UK, if you are watching from the UK or Europe, you can get it, and just send us an email and I'll find out from Sue where it's available from. In South Africa, there we don't have it. So what you need to do is just contact us and we'll arrange a pickup point for us to give you the book. So we have a couple of good questions. Thank you, Debbie. Can we talk more about when you cut the cord, you aren't chasing people away? So no, we are not chasing people away. When we cut the cord, it's about cutting the shadow of that negative cord. So it's about creating a boundary, about if somebody is if you're in a relationship, let's say, for example, with one of your parents, let's say you have a controlling mother. You love your mother. Your mother has given you beautiful things. Your mother has created a fantastic, done beautiful things for you, but she likes to interfere with, control you on how you treat your children, as an example. And she likes to get involved with that. So when you cut the cord around that issue, that controlling issue, it doesn't mean that you're losing everything of your mother. You're just managing that situation and that issue. The love between a mother and daughter is still there, or a mother and father. I hope that answers your question, Debbie. Do you think love is a cord? Love can absolutely be a cord. And in fact, you can enhance with an intimate relationship or even a parent relationship. So let's talk about the love for a child. When a child, love is a positive cord. And so between 1 and 7, we have love cords to all the chakras of our children to support them and look after them. So those are really positive cords, and those are love cords. And as the child gets to the age of 7, then those cords get less and less, and we cut off from those cords. So I think that's really important that we remember that love cords are very much there. And intimate love cords, as long as there is no agenda, because often in a relationship there is an agenda, but if there's this beautiful love between you and your partner, there's this clear feeling, and it's not control, or it's not to get something, and it's even, we share that in cording with a beautiful love cord. So yes, we can have that. Is it sometimes advisable to reduce the diameter of the cord before cutting it? John Harlan, that's a really good question. There are times that one would do that. If somebody's got a really, really thick cord, one might want to reduce it and then cut it. Also, it might be able to visualize that getting thinner, doing the cutting. And also, if it's a very thick cord going into your solar plexus, you might need to reduce it so that that void is not that big, and then clear it out. The importance is in that visualization, when you're doing that cord cutting, is to ensure that it is removed. You don't want it to grow again. Thank you. What can you tell us about silver cords stemming from the area of the chest between the nipples? Sorry, I lost that. From someone else to you. Okay, so a silver cord. Josh, I need you to go back up there. Sorry, I have somebody working with me. So I'm not sure of what that vibration is, that silver cord, whether that silver cord had a negative or a positive vibration. But that would be a cord to the heart, and it would depend on which way the cord was running and from who it was running. Was there intention for something negative? To me, a silver cord feels like a positive cord. But I don't know what was going on for you. So it would be the heart chakra, and it would be really good to work out what that is. Cutting cords sets you free. I agree, Barbara. They can do that. Thank you for the affirmation. And I'm going to do one final, read one final message. Thank you for the workshop. Your talk is very good pace and the content flows at a convenience. I recognize I'm fully aware of the energy that people can drain. In the past, I handled it by minimizing my exposure to these people, or sometimes have a very frank conversation. When I sense there is an agenda, I have these methods very effective to myself in the past. What am I missing by not following the cord cutting process? So, thank you, Eben. I think that cord cutting is something that would enhance what you are doing. Often people might have agendas that you are not seeing in a practical way. So this is another tool for you to get a sense of whether people are connected to you. Maybe you're feeling a certain way, maybe you're taking on somebody else's energy. So often cord cutting is not directly, or setting your energy free is not directly connecting to a situation that's in front of you. So it might be often somebody coming at your back that you're not aware of. People will, manipulative people will often use cords that you are unaware of. And that would be a good reason to scan your body and to get rid of them. So there are practical ways to get rid of them: a good conversation, good boundaries, a salt bath. But some of them will just connect to you that maybe you're not aware of, or come behind you. You know, the cords from the back are really manipulative. So it's always good to scan the body. Here's another really good question from an anonymous attendee. I don't think this cord cutting worked for me, as the relationship was emotionally abusive, which has lingered. Do I keep trying this method repeatedly? So sometimes we need to do healing on ourselves and forgiveness. I would continue to do the cord cutting and look at the reason why within myself. Unfortunately, it's one of these things with our personal healing, is continually see why we're catching the cord. And if the relationship is still there, or it was, so it's past, the relationship has already gone, it's working on your healing, it's working on your personal power, and continually letting go of any further abuse that is coming. If the past is still sitting with you and is within your energy field, then that is something that you need to work with to heal, and that will take time. So if there's no influence, if the person is still, if that part, because it was a relationship, if that past person is still trying to emotionally be abusive towards you, even though you're no longer in a relationship, and is cording to you, you need to keep cutting the cord. And then you need to evaluate why it keeps coming back, and what are the steps that you can take to empower yourself not to catch that ball. What do you need to do? Do you need to stop seeing that person? Do you need to do certain physical, practical things in order to stop that emotion coming with you? And part of that, and one of the tools, would be cord cutting to help with that. Thank you. Good question. Good. I think we've covered most of those. My sincere apologies if I missed any. It was wonderful being here with you tonight. Thank you all for attending. It's obviously a subject that a lot of you are interested in, and we look forward to seeing you back at Moya Talks in a couple of weeks' time, and also to possibly see you at one of our workshops and at the school. Good night, and thank you one and all.